Is Ethereum and crypto being controlled by China? Today, Joshua Jake on the Cryptos Are Us Plus channel is going to be breaking it down for us, and you're going to be joining me as I react to this video. Let's hop straight into it. Make sure to subscribe to Cryptos Are Us Plus on YouTube and Joshua Jake. Let's go.
Only a fool believes that he knows everything. A wise man understands that he knows absolutely nothing. That is the message I hope that you take away from today's show. In today's episode, we're going to be diving into the corruption behind the Ethereum Foundation, and we're going to be breaking down the #1 lie in crypto: decentralization. You see, not only am I going to prove to you that decentralization cannot exist in a capitalistic society, I'm going to prove to you that more money always equals more control.
Decentralization, 100% full decentralization is basically a meme.
And more control always leads to more power. And the entire narrative and perspective around decentralization in the crypto industry is this the largest marketing scheme brought to you by Silicon Valley 2.0, Web3 venture capitalist.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
We've got to do a better job of getting across that America is free. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of enterprise, and freedom is special in the red.
Welcome back, everybody, to Beyond the Headlines. I'm your host, Joshua Jake, and I know I led off that intro with a very strong presumption of crypto really being the most fake industry in the world. Now, I am a Bitcoin bull. I am an altcoin bull. I believe in the future of crypto. Now, as you guys know, crypto is the perfect tool to disrupt the traditional financial banking sector. After all, Bitcoin is a direct solution to the double spending problem. But that doesn't mean crypto doesn't invade communism. This story all starts with the Ethereum founder, Vitalik Buterin. Vitalik Buterin has ties to the SEC darling Prometheum, and here's everything you need to know. The connection between Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin and Wangjing Blockchain Labs, although it's been public for years, is suddenly a very big deal. That's because as the industry pours over Prometheum, now the SEC's poster child for regulatory compliance, crypto Twitter has realized that the startup is partially owned by Shanghai Wangjing.
So many people have their hands in Ethereum, but I think most people who are into crypto know that by now, but some people just don't understand it. But
in blockchain, and I might butcher these names. Now, first, we have to give a huge shout out to Truth Labs, also known as Boring Sleuth on Twitter. He has done some of the most outstanding journalism that I have ever seen in blockchain sleuthing, uncovering the corruption also known as ETHgate. You see, Prometheum, as Tommy Tuberville states, is the poster child for the SEC. They were using this company to state that there is regulatory clarity in the crypto sector, and they're using this to represent and try to convince the Congress that really 99% of cryptos and really every crypto other than Bitcoin is a security because they want regulatory control. Clearly, as mentioned in this interview.
So is it safe to say you're optimistic about the crypto industry in the US? We've heard so many CEOs in this industry come out and say they're looking at setting up shop elsewhere. They're looking at going to maybe Europe where regulation is a little bit more clear. What's your outlook on regulation in the US, especially as it pertains to companies dealing with crypto?
The approval of Prometheum Capital as a special purpose broker-dealer really shows that there is a way forward for crypto in the United States. There is a pathway towards compliance, and I think this is the beginnings of a process where all of the trading and custody activity that's currently occurring in arguably improperly regulated venues will migrate to securities compliant ecosystems. As Chairman Gensler has stated multiple times, the overwhelming majority of digital assets are securities and need to be traded as such. And furthermore, that time is running out for virtual currency exchanges to register under the securities laws. Previously, what you could have argued, well, there are regulations, but no one's been approved, so maybe there is no path. But now that Prometheum Capital has been approved, that argument is moot.
What a Now, Prometheum is an American company, but according to SEC filings, it is a strategic partner in joint venture with Shanghai Wangjing Blockchain Inc. and its affiliate Hashkey. The former company is a spin-off of Wangjing Group, which has deep ties to the Communist Party. Wangjing Group was founded in 1969 by Liu, a former senior Communist Party official. In 2021, the party's Central Committee posthumously named him a National Excellent Communist Party member. It even included a quote from President Xi Jinping, noting that that Liu always actively accomplished, all of that is advocated by party committees and governments at all levels. Today, the Wang Jing Group is now led by the son of Liu, and public documents submitted to the SEC show that Shanghai Wangjin blockchain has a technology agreement with Prometheum. As you can see in this SEC filing, the parties are committed and will facilitate, develop, and advance Prometheum's ecosystem. And under intent and purpose, number 2B, it is the purpose of this document to memorialize and announce the joint intent of the parties that Prometheum obtain the benefit of Wang Jin's goodwill, including without limitation, Wang Jin's technology resources, industry contacts, intellectual capital, and community building mechanisms in furthering Prometheum's business plan and ecosystem, as set forth in the technology agreement. Now, you have to understand why this would make every US-based crypto company mad, because after all trying to register for the same filing and get clarity by the SEC lets some random company that comes out of nowhere, which I will show you in just a moment, is funded by the CCP, decides to grant them access and become the poster child for this crypto industry. Well, as it turns out, Prometheum's new designation could present threats to data security and privacy of American investors. The company Prometheum collects and stores personally identifiable information from its users. Obviously, being funded by the CCP, there are concerns that this could give Beijing unprecedented access to social security numbers, mailing addresses, sensitive financial information, and account data for every American who does business with the company. So Congress and Tommy Tuberview have asked the questions of where is this data being stored? Is Chinese technology being utilized by Prometheum? And what safeguards have been put in place to make sure that the CCP does not control and access information from American citizens? So Prometheum's approval by the nation's securities regulators is at best a failure of due diligence. As a member of the Senate Agriculture Committee,
best a failure of due diligence.
This is Tom Tuberville speaking. I want to ensure that similar failures don't occur in our commodities sector. Now, I want you guys to have an open mind for this video, because it is ironic that Tommy Tuberville is the one speaking out. This is a man who fails to disclose agriculture investments, even though he influences the entire industry's policies. This man's an inside trader. So now that you know about Prometheum, let's get back to the Ethereum Foundation. Well, as shown by Truth Labs on Twitter, you can see that the Wangjin Labs created the initial Ethereum Foundation wallet. They also created Vitalik Buterin's wallets. Here's the wangjin.eth address. You can see here that the wallet 0x510E set up wallet 0xF2B5, where wangjin.eth currently resides. Now, this is important because Truth Labs then goes on to show that this is where you can see that that wallet 0x5ED8 was set up and initially funded by 0x510E. Now, I know a lot of numbers, and I'm going to make this very, very simple. Those two wallets set up Vitalik Buterin's wallets. So why does it matter that a Chinese-based company founded the Ethereum Foundation, or at least funded it? Well, it's going to be because Wangjin Blockchain Labs is a non-profit organization.
Bro, I'm sick of the non-profit shit. I'm sick of it. Non-profit is a fucking scam. It's impossible to have a true non-profit. And if you don't understand this already, I don't even know what to tell you, but yeah.
And China-based research institution started in 2015 by China Wangjing Holding. The lab's resources were integrated into Shanghai Wangjing Blockchain, a firm established all the way in 2017. Buterin's connection to the nonprofit can be traced back to Ethereum's early days. In 2015, the CEO of Wangjing Blockchain Labs, Feng Zhao, formed a relationship with Buterin and purchased $500,000 worth of Ethereum. This is where the corruption starts. He purchased $500,000 from Vitalik Buterin to save the foundation. This can be looked at as an investment contract. Now, I am by no means a lawyer in any single way, shape, or form, but multiple lawyers like Johnny Deaton have called out this very issue. So now we have Prometheum partnering up with Wangjin Labs, which funded Vitalik Buterin's foundation through arguably what would be an investment contract. Yet today, we have Gary Gensler, the SEC chair, stating things like this.
And help protect Americans from the crypto abuses that cost consumers billions.
If they were to live up to the investor protection built into their current laws, it would help investors. But right now, unfortunately, there's significant non-compliance, and it's a field which is rife with fraud, abuse, and misconduct.
I'm sorry, is this not a
I hate that.
massive conflict of interest? Because
I just absolutely hate when they talk about fraud in crypto, etc., which is not wrong. I mean, there's a ton of fraud in crypto, but what's going on Wall Street? It's going on in every single industry ever.
Gary Gensler, who was brought
Everything's a grift.
from MIT. Yeah, it turns out MIT also had a partnership with Wangjin Labs and Wangjin Group. Here's your strategic partnership and cooperation on March 28th, 2018, where Gary Gensler, as a professor, is teaching and saying this.
Vitalik wanted to raise money. He was maybe 19 years old. He looped in with a venture capitalist from Canada, Joe Lubin, who now runs Consensus.
What?
Lubin took about 10% or 9.5% of the offering. They put 9.5% in a foundation called the Ethereum Foundation, and the other 80% was sold to the public for $18 million.
All right, so Gary Gensler just blatantly lied to a class at MIT. Once again, as shown to you by Truth Labs, we can see that the Wangjing wallet funded the Ethereum Foundation. There was no Canadian involved at this time. However, Lubin, who is the CEO of Consensus, I don't know if he actually still is today. Well, that's funny, Gary, because we just caught you lying red-handed to your MIT class. At least Truth Labs did. The point of blockchain, we can trace back the Ethereum Foundation and who created the wallet. We know who funded it. Wangjin Labs, who Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, is also the chief scientist for, bought $500,000 worth of Ethereum when it was at $1, in what is arguably the investment contract that so many allegations are coming up against. And it gets worse, because the CEO of Wangjin Blockchain Labs proposed to...
I've been saying this for a while, though, but I don't think they're going to touch Ethereum. They might come for other altcoins, but they're not going to come for Ethereum. Too many people use it. Vitalik's in cahoots with everybody. So I don't think they're going to do shit to Ethereum. Ethereum is basically a rundown. It's, you know, the technology's not good. Everyone understands Ethereum's tech is not good. And it's kind of just a casino. But I don't think they're going to go for it. Too much liquidity, too many people using it, too many famous people pumping it. I don't know. I just don't think so, though.
Vitalik, this is coming directly from the CEO. I proposed to Vitalik that we would donate, yes, this is how they got around the investment contract in quotation marks. We would donate up to $500,000 US to the Ethereum Foundation under the name Wangjin Blockchain Labs. The Ethereum Foundation accepted the donation, and if necessary, to dispel the developers' doubts, we would continue to fund the foundation over the next year, so the developers could focus on their work and could help the Ethereum mainnet go live as scheduled. After the dust had settled, Vitalik wrote to the Ethereum community announcing that the Ethereum Foundation had received a donation from an organization, which had also pledged to continue support for the Ethereum Foundation. In this way, the concerns and uncertainties within the developer community about Ethereum's cash flow in the coming months had calmed down.
And the thing that's kind of interesting is if you think about it, yeah, there's obviously corruption in the Ethereum Foundation. There's no denying that, but did Vitalik make the right play by doing this? Because as far as we know, they have not said Ethereum is a security in Washington, and they have seemed kind of scared to touch it too. So is Vitalik making these plays actually beneficial towards Ethereum? Not saying it's not corrupt, but I'm saying, is it actually beneficial, him having these partnerships with these Chinese non-profits? Beneficial? I don't know. We're going to have to see that one play out, but...
In hindsight, these fears were unwarranted, but at the time, in the face of a project proclaimed by someone that is the world's internet computer, especially one with a 20-year-old technology geek at the helm, it was normal for one to question how long the project can survive. No, that's not the question at all here. The only question here is, why is Prometheum raising $12 million from Hashkey, which is the affiliate to Wangjin Blockchain Labs, another investment arm? Yeah, why is it that Gary Gensler, the SEC chair, is defending Prometheum, which has ties to the Wangjin Group and is partnered with MIT, while at the same time he was teaching at MIT and spreading complete lies about the funding and foundation of Ethereum, which, mind you, Joseph Lubin, the CEO of Consensus, yeah, they bought the Quorum platform from JP Morgan just a few years ago, which leads you down a whole nother rabbit hole with JP Morgan's ties early on to the ETH Foundation. Lastly, shout out to Truth Labs for also showing that Wangjin, who set up the ETH Foundation and Vitalik's wallets, along with several other VCs on chain and Huobi exchange addresses, is also known as Yunbi Piatio. Now, this specific wallet also conveniently set up the Binance Dev wallets. They also built other exchanges like Crypto.com, Coinbase, MXC. These are all the original funders. So is it too far of a reach to say that these are all basically entities originally set up by the CCP through Wangjin Blockchain Labs? And that's the million-dollar question. Does any of this even matter? And the answer is no. that's the point.
Yeah.
You see, all of this is proof that decentralization is a myth. You can track these blocks.
Yeah, I mean, there's bullshit in every single crypto foundation ever. And Ethereum Foundation is no exception to it. That's what makes Bitcoin so special, because there's no Bitcoin Foundation.
Blockchain wallets down to the original ETH founders. These same wallets.
But it's true, though. There's who gives a fuck? Nobody cares. Are people going to stop buying Ethereum? No. Will this impact them in the future? Maybe. Could it actually be beneficial for the future? That's also very possible.
Conveniently accessed and created Binance and the largest exchanges that exist. When you dive into Tron, you'll find out that 17 wallets actually control the majority of the supply, upwards of 98.
Okay, here's my take on Tron. Now, Tron and Justin Sun get a lot of heat. But here's the thing. People in third world countries and developing countries are actually using Tron. They're legitimately utilizing the network to go about and improve their daily lives. People in developing countries. And that can't be said for almost all the cryptos. We know they're using Tether in these emerging companies. Bitcoin, they don't really want it in these emerging countries. But they don't really want Bitcoin in these emerging countries because it's so volatile. People want dollars. And that's where stablecoins like Tether and Tron come in. And Tron's usually used a lot because it's a very cheap network. So yeah, it is centralized. But I think Tron's purpose as as a rails for stable coins and all that stuff, it's doing a good job. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
The Ethereum Foundation funded countless projects. So who really controls these networks? And to be honest, I think that answer is very simple. I look at the industry as Bitcoin is a true commodity, which even Bitcoin has its own centralization issues. When you get down to who are the internet providers, to where's the power grid, who owns the power grid, to where are the semiconductors coming from?
Yeah, even Bitcoin's not 100% decentralized.
Who owns the production line, the mempools, the miners, the asset managers? In a free market, decentralization is a spectrum. It's a meter. You want to be as far towards it as possible, but it will always be impossible because somebody with more money, with more power, will always have more control. And there is solutions to this. One is realize that everything in this industry should be viewed as a software as a service. There's going to be early investors, early foundations, angel investors, seed investors, friends and families. And their goal with these products is to market to the world that this is the next best thing. All while they all try to market to you that they are decentralized, that they're about giving the power back to the user. And the underlying truth is that the majority of this industry does the complete opposite.
And also, the majority of people in general just don't give a shit about decentralization. I've been beating the drum on this forever, but if you're in Web3, you need to make sure your product or whatever you're doing is very user-friendly and easy to use and not just some fucking science project. Because you need people to actually use your application or use your blockchain or whatever. This isn't fucking, oh, it's decentralized. Go on the fucking street. Most people don't even know what decentralization means, okay? So let's just start there. But they don't even care anyways.
It's Web3 venture capitals coming into the market. When they see a decent product, they're going to market it to the masses and they're going to pump that price up and dump on their investors. And what they're going to do with that money is turn it over and over and over again.
Yeah, and also the VC's dumping on people. I mean, they have to. That's the whole point of the VC game. They're looking to get a gain. It's also the same thing with the foundation, the Ethereum Foundation, whatever foundation you want to take, them dumping tokens or dumping tokens to the top. They have to dump tokens in order to keep the foundation moving forward and keep the project moving forward. You can't have a fucking business without fucking cash coming in. You got fucking people to pay and stuff.
To Silicon Valley 2.0. And that is what makes me so bullish about crypto. Is the one thing you can look throughout history and guarantee is going to happen is that human greed is going to take over. Yep. And right now in the United States, there is dozens of bills passing through Congress. You have Tommy Tuberville attacking the SEC chair. You have people like RFK Jr. advocating for Bitcoin and holding it as a reserve asset against the US dollar. And the one thing that I know is that we are so early to this market. Probably less than 2% of the world even knows what Bitcoin is, and less than 2% of that 2% even know what altcoins are. And these VCs are going to come in here relentlessly relentlessly and continue to market each cycle about their new product, their new innovation, their new trend, their new utility, and they're going to market to the masses and continue to pump and dump on investors. Now, in this industry, there is a lot of good. There is amazing scientists and researchers and engineers and developers that are trying to actually make a difference. But it is naive to believe that this industry is a solution to the fractional banking sector. I haven't even gotten into stable coins. Wait till you see how corrupted Tether is. Wait till you see how the Federal Reserve is trying to...
I have an exclusive story about Tether and the Lightning Network that I'll save for you guys one day.
Step in and control the narrative around what is supposed to be a reserve asset in the crypto sector. Crypto is a mechanism that's not only, yes, a solution to fractional banking, but it's a cure to the traditional fractional banking sector. And that's how we're going to profit. Because if you know this is a VC's game, you're going to know when to take profit. Now, obviously, there's a lot more to this, guys, and I can get down into how Madoff has ties to the Paxos group.
All right, that's about it for the video. That was a great video and a good deep dive, and I really like a lot of the takes Josh had, regarding the corruption and how it matters and how it doesn't really matter at the same time. And I think he hit the nail on the head with this entire video. And once again, make sure to go subscribe to Cryptos R Us Plus and subscribe to Joshua Jake's YouTube channel. All that good stuff. Links will be in the description for all that. And yeah, thank you for watching.